The Atlanta Dream pulled off a tight win over the Dallas Wings, 88-85. The Dream actually lost to Dallas back in June. It was right after Dallas acquired Lee Uru, who was impactful off of the bench in this matchup. 7 points, 100% from the floor. Dejanay Carrington was also strong off of the bench with 8 points, 57% from the floor, but Dallas's bench ain't have nothing on Atlanta's bench. Atlanta's bench outscored Dallas 31-22, and that's off of the back of Naz Hillmon, who is unequivocally the front runner for Sixth Player of the Year and could also be in the Most Improved debate. She had a career night, 21 points, 77% from the floor, 71% from three, 3 assists and a block. Nia Coffey is also an extremely important piece to Atlanta's depth. Had a strong 8 minutes, 7 points on 50% shooting, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and a block. It's really Nia and Naz's defense that isn't talked about enough, which is why I'll talk about it every chance that I get. Atlanta has some of the strongest defense in the WNBA coming off of the bench. How Naz has been able to defend top players in the league is criminally underrated. It's things that don't show up in the box score. Her positioning, her physicality, her box out. Allisha Gray is the top rebounding guard in the league, and she hustles for that, but she's able to do a lot of that because of the work that Naz Hillmon puts in on the box out that allows Allisha to go and get it. And that's the 2-part piece that people don't consider when they're looking at rebounding. Like, a lot of people criticize BG for not rebounding more, but we have to consider BG is 6'9". She's drawing 2 to 3 defenders for box out. She also doesn't have the quickest first step. When she's in the game, this gives her teammates the ability to rebound more because the obvious thing to do is to box out BG. In fact, if BG got more rebounds, the opposing team's coach would be livid. That's probably one of the biggest points of emphasis. Like, y'all better put a body on BG. Speaking of BG, I was disappointed to see her ejected so early on in the game. It was the first minute of the third quarter, and Atlanta was in the thick of it. It was a tight game, and we could have used her, but kudos to Allisha Gray for stepping up and bouncing back from the loss to the Valkyries the night before. Gray had 15, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Brionna Jones also stepped up, 14 points, 60% from the floor. Te-Hina PaoPao was pivotal in that starting lineup. I'm so happy that she had the moment to be in the game during a clutch situation down the stretch. With seconds left in the fourth, she was able to find a gap in the defense and get to the basket. I think that this performance likely gained some trust in those moments for the future. Thinking back to the first half of the season, the loss to New York when PaoPao was on a heater and Smesco opted to pull her out of the game after a defensive mistake that sent Natasha Cloud to the line. This felt like redemption from that. Like, coach, you can trust me now. I have grown. Maya Caldwell has been great over the last few games without Rhyne Howard on both sides of the ball. She's always been a strong defender and a bucket getter downhill, but now with her perimeter game expanding, it's going to open up more off the bounce for her. This team is playing more cohesively on the offensive end without Rhyne Howard, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but the pace in the half court is different because the ball is moving more. Rhyne is such a tremendous scorer that it's easy to defer to her when you need a bucket. It's easy for her to take shots that aren't necessarily in the flow of the offense because she can hit those, but the struggle has been in the balance. There have been times when I felt that she shot Atlanta out of games, but then there's times where they need that. I felt in the loss to the Valkyries, they needed her perimeter game. They needed her dominance. They needed Rhyne time. They did a great job at getting it inside, but the Valkyries were collapsing and Atlanta was struggling from 3 in the first half. The Valkyries had strong on-ball defense, and I think in general, we don't talk about the length the Valkyries have in the guard and forward position enough. But it would have been great to have Rhyne to create off of the dribble because she's such a creative player. If Atlanta can continue to move the ball at this pace when she comes back into the lineup, which she's due back August 1st, this is going to be scary for the rest of the league. Once Atlanta ties those loose ends, they can beat anybody. But what are your thoughts, Hoops Tribe? How are you feeling about Atlanta? Let's talk hoops.